I said, I was live over there on Twitch, and I do apologize to the Twitch family. It wasn't done intentionally. I don't know what the hell happened. Well, I do know what the hell happened. I didn't have it selected. So like I said, I do apologize for that. But anyway, like I said, I'm here with a very special guest today. I'm here with my man Dealer. What's going on with you, good brother?
Yeah. Once again, doing pretty good, man. It's been a little bit since we've been on air together. So, for those that know, we said, fuck it. Fuck all the little rats trying to stir up the drama. We're going to move forward. We know what the fuck's up and let's do a one-on-one.
Yeah, like I said, and for those of you that are, well, some of you, been here forever, I say, quote unquote, with this dog shit platform, I do these interviews once a year. I do interviews all the time, but where I get the guys from either the Xbox side of things or the PlayStation side of things right before E3. And E3 is probably less than a month away, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's already so soon, less than a month away. And see if some things have changed within the community. As far as their preference or, how you say, quote unquote, jump the fence or pull the crap gamer. I don't know. But like I said, listen.
I'm putting sources in my videos, bro.
Listen, I got to bring it up too because that was funny. No shout to Randolph Thor. I just did a show when he put me hip to that, but you called him out on Twitter for. I'll be the last one on every goddamn thing. But anyway, like I said, you said you was just playing Rage 2. You've been playing that.
Rage 2 is good, man.
I'm hearing bad things about it, okay things about it. What are your thoughts about it?
Honestly, I can't, fuck, it's a fun game, man. I can't sit there and talk a bunch of shit about it. As you know, I just came off Days Gone as well, and I enjoyed Days Gone. And then I come to Rage, and I like it as well, but in a different way. It's Doom meets Mad Max. If you like tight gunplay, 60 FPS on console, it's a win-win, man. It's a good time. If you're bored, you ain't got shit to play, and we all know no one's got shit to play. It's fucking E3. Pick it up.
Okay, all right. Listen, guys, as you guys come in again, you'd be so kind as to hit the like button. We're gonna have some funny here today. So anyway, like I said, actually I'm about to be seeing you guys in real time, so I can actually see you guys. Let me hit the like button. All right, let me hit the like button my damn self. Let me tweet this out my damn self. Hold on. Share, right click, cap out of me. Let me go. Let me put this out there in Twitch world myself. All right, Twitter world. I'm sorry. All right, so Dilla, how should I say this? It's been a very interesting generation, to say the least. Would you agree with that? It's been an interesting generation. You know what I mean?
Probably the most interesting.
Yeah, been he said before most interesting in my opinion. You know what I mean? To me, like it started off a little strange. Normally, and not to sound like a broken record, but normally when a new generation comes out, a new console, that's it for the previous generation. This generation we had what you call a lot of cross-gen developing. Give you an example when the Xbox 360 came out. That was it for the original Xbox. You understand what I'm saying? Or when the PlayStation 2 came out, that was more or less it for the PlayStation 1. This generation, some of the biggest titles that came out, Destiny was on both platforms. The Duties, the Assassin's Creed, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, Forza Horizon, 2. Then you had, quote unquote, the remasters. Now, in your honest opinion, just going back and just looking at, just comparing it to the 360 generation, and I have my own opinion. I'm going to get yours first. When comparing the two, as far as in terms of what we got, as far as content wise, new IPs, staple IPs, you know what I mean? In your opinion, what has been the better generation?
Well, the bad part is, and I agree with you. Like, it's interesting. You got a lot of remasters, and I think the reason for that is developers know we're never going backwards, right? No matter what you have from this point on, it's coming with you in the future, right? So they're like, let's get all these games on this platform, and we can kind of sell it over the next 10, 15 years and make our money back, and so on and so forth. But with first-party titles, I think Microsoft has been lackluster both generations. As a matter of fact, that's a fact. A lot of their support last generation was third party. They had Forza Motorsport. They had Halo. Even Halo was not even owned by them for a long time until 343. Right? I mean, it was owned by them, but wasn't developed by actual first party studio that was theirs. It was largely the third party titles and that install base that powered that kind of perception buy your games on the 360. They run best. They get the best online, and nobody really cared. Performance was kind of a similar story. Not the fastest console, but the easiest to develop for. So, it is interesting. And then you get to this generation where Microsoft, once again, aren't making any of their own shit. They're making Halo, they're making Gears, and they're making Forza. They bought Minecraft to get $4 billion franchises now. But largely, it's all third-party stuff. And finally, for the first time, they're like, you know what? Let's double our studio capacity. You know what? Let's hire people onto every single studio that we have, and let's give these guys freedom. Let's give them some funds, right? So I'm pretty hopeful for the future. As you know, like, I know you were kidding in your tweet. Like, I didn't like Sea of Thieves. I hammered that shit in my review, right? So, Sea of Thieves, it was disappointing. There wasn't enough content there. Potential, that's the word. State of Decay. I was a big fan of State of Decay 1. I gave the second one a 7.5 because it is better than the first one in every way. And Crackdown, if you're a Crackdown fan, I'm sure you enjoyed Crackdown. I didn't play Crackdown 1, so I actually had some fun at Crackdown 3. If you haven't played it, Crackhead 3, Letdown 3, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't played it, you might not understand, but as somebody who didn't play Crackdown 1, which I didn't, I actually had a little bit of fun in Crackdown 3, and I recommended renting that through Game Pass, though it is not a justification for, Game Pass itself. But yeah, it's very interesting, man. I'm hopeful. That's the word, man. And I'm sure you are a little bit too as well.
Okay, all right. Once again, shout out to everybody that's joining live. I do apologize if it seemed like I just we hopped into the interview clip. We were live over on Twitch, and I do apologize to my family over there. I had the wrong switch. But anyway, moving on. This is not really moving along. And what I was trying more is to reference, I just mean in terms of content, not even the Xbox thing or a PlayStation question. I'm like, in terms of content, what I mean by, if you look at about what we got the previous generation, like, look at Assassin's Creed was a new franchise, right? Or
you're talking about new IPs in general.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about it as, just the fanboy banner aside. I'm just talking about in general, in terms of what was offered to us as gamers. And shout out to my man Tip Diamond for the $2. I appreciate it, good brother. In terms of what was offered to us in first terms of content, what I mean, and to me, when I hate to say hindsight, it's 2020, when I remove, like I said, from the bullshit and sit back and look at what was offered to us. Like I said, some of the biggest games that we, was this Destiny or Forza Horizon 2. I like the Horizon series much better than I do the Motorsport series. All those games were cross-gen, you know what I mean? And which we didn't have in my opinion, too many unique I'll give you an example, right? And not get too long-winded. All right, remember, to me, I like to call them oh shit moments. First time seeing Gears running up the stairs and with the chainsaw and you getting your first kill. That was an oh shit moment. I mean, we were going from 480i, 480p, whatever the case may be, into 720p, 1080i, or 1080p. You know what I mean? That was like a oh shit moment. You know what I mean? In my opinion, and again, you may feel
the Uncharted 2 moment, the Gears of War moment. I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah.
In my opinion, like I said again, those moments have been, I don't know, like I said, few and far in between. And I'm asking you, what do you maybe? I mean, you may listen. You may feel totally different than that. I mean, what if you do feel that way? What do you think what's contributing to that?
I actually completely agree, and I think a large portion of that is due to the fact that you can only go HD once, right? Okay. You can only go from 480p, 480i to 720p HD once, and that's kind of when pixel counts are that low, the benefits are so obvious, right? Doesn't matter what distance you are, for the most part, you're going to notice. And Gears of War was running on the new Unreal Engine as well, and it was just a showcase in every sense of the word. Uncharted 2 was kind of one of the big standouts for me on the PlayStation 3. It was the reason that I bought a PS3 again, and I was blown away by the narrative and the storytelling in that game. And not to mention the big thing, Xbox Live, Modern Warfare. That kind of shit only happens once, where this thing just explodes, and every night you're on party chat or whenever you can be, and you're just having a blast online. Like that's kind of like the golden age to a lot of people, and that will never happen again. For the simple fact that's already happened, right? Like you just can't recreate it.
that is like I said, I didn't look at it from that aspect, just overall the experience, because like I said, Xbox Live was out the previous generation, but it really took off like the following generation, and Xbox Live parties, and with the the mountain. I'm sorry, not the mountain, but the Call of Duty,
The party system, just being able to talk to your
yeah,
friend who's
the
playing fucking
achievements,
Uno or something, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
you're not even fucking with it. It was really really spectacular at the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Oh yeah, like I said, well put. I didn't look at it from that. But I'm gonna take it one step further. Before us, the financial risk, and it's gonna lead us into some of the next generation talk, right? Um, and a lot, just going back to what we do here, but and people said Sony have always had the greater games. And I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, again, you may feel different. To me, this I was more impressed by Sony this generation than any other generation before then. You know what I mean? I think it might have been all day or somebody said, "But you just know on Sony's track record, they've always had the." I said, "Not really, because all of the great multiplats we have today, they were exclusive back then. Whether they were the Metal Gears, the
Hmm.
Grand Theft Autos, you know what I mean, or the Final Fantasies, whatever you may know them for. Like I kind of like it to Nintendo. Like I said, some of Nintendo's greatest IP back in the NES days weren't made by Nintendo, whether it's Rain King, Double Dragon, Teenage Mutant Turtles. They were all made by third party. But just not to get too long winded, those games that you think about these iconic franchises, they were exclusive during the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 era. You know what I mean? Those games didn't become multiplats until the PS3 generation. So I said I was so impressed with Sony with the edition because I was thoroughly impressed with what the God of Wars. Even though it's not a new franchise, but they kind of rebooted it. The Horizons or the Spider Mans or the Last of Us 2 or the Ghost of Tsushima. I can go on and on. Like I said, I was more impressed with what they did this generation. But do you think leading into next generation, and you like to talk about the tech, do you think we're going to see a lot more of the same wash, reprint, remastered of what we previously had, or a lot of cross-gen development?
Well, with Microsoft, the Xbox One isn't going anywhere. So
Okay.
the way that I've kind of come to that conclusion is the fact that they're building xCloud server racks out of Xbox One S hardware, and will eventually upgrade or offer Anaconda SKU xCloud servers, right, for higher fidelity and resolutions, frame rates, etc. So we know they're not going to build out xCloud on Xbox One S hardware, use it for a year and a half, and say, "Ah, fuck it, we're out." And then change. They put that infrastructure in there because xCloud is going to be streaming to cell phones over the next 5-7 years using what is going to be Xbox One base hardware. They're going to get it to work. People say it's impossible, yet every year games continue to look better, though some do have some serious CPU limitations. Hopefully the software like GameCore can kind of take care of that. That's kind of a high dollar piece of software Microsoft are developing that's leaked. GameCore, think of it as UWP 2.0, but not dog shit at the beginning, right? It's supposed to enable like maximum scalability between all consoles, cell phone, PC, etc. And that's going to help them kind of keep these older systems more relevant. It'll be interesting to see if Sony do eventually cut ties with the PS4. We know that backward compatibility is going to be there with the PS5, and I love the fact they're going SSD as well.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of people are like, I feel like motherfuckers don't even watch what I'm saying. Like as many, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been very vocal about the fact that I love what PlayStation is doing. As a matter of fact, I want them to be as powerful as possible and as competitive as possible because
Okay.
that incentivizes Microsoft to do better. It's the only reason Microsoft has kicked it into gear, right? We both know this. They've
Mm-hmm.
been getting their asses kicked. All three of them, right? They got three ass cheeks, and all of them been getting kicked. And then they're doing better with the X, and they finally invested in the software. But I mean, at the end of the day, like with Sony's IPs, yes, I loved God of War, gave it a 9.5, very vocal about that. Uncharted, I completely agree with I said this on my own Xbox podcast over and over.
Mm-hmm.
92, I completely agree with that Metascore on Uncharted 4. Days Gone, I rated it higher than the meta. I give it a 78 on my own review, which I just did. Now, some games, Sony's has some turds too. I think people forget. Knack is in the 50s. Killzone's barely in the 70s. Like Drive Club's in the low 70s. Like a lot of stuff at the beginning of the generation was trash. And in 2018, things really picked up, in my opinion. So Spider-Man, I also reviewed that, gave that a higher score than the meta. These games have been great, though Sony have only put out, God of War. They didn't make Spider-Man. They did fund Insomniac, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
God of
yeah.
War was just
Yeah,
their game in
not
2018.
to get into the semantics, but it's exclusive content there on the box. Can't it was, but they're on that box. But what I
Yeah,
meant,
you literally system sellers, right?
mhm.
It is what it is.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. All right, so all right, I guess I can look at it from this point, right? Um, in your honest opinion, I haven't spoken to you in a while. Why do you? And you may feel different, right? I don't want to, like, say permission is to treat the witness as a hostile witness, Yana, right? But and again, like I said, I haven't spoken to you about these topics in a while. In your honest opinion, what do you think has? Why has things been so bad for Microsoft this generation? So
You talking about in terms of games?
yeah. Well, just
I know
I
why.
ain't gonna lie, but you know what I mean. Like like some of them shows. Like I don't. I'll give you an example, right? Like Inside Xbox. I don't know who the fuck is that show for. And I look at it and like that. I don't want to see anything more about Sea of Thieves, any DLC for Sea of Thieves. Is that show to get new Xbox fans, or is this show to make your fans hype? Because I walk away from the show scratching my goddamn head. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But again,
Well, what's the thing that you say? Men, women,
men lie, women lie.
men and women lie, but numbers
Numbers
never
don't
lie,
lie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the numbers on Inside Xbox, the like ratio is far higher than PlayStation, whatever the fuck it's called. What they just come out with. I
Uh,
mean, people aren't very happy with PlayStation. What is that called? It's like 10-minute show.
Play inside or something.
Play, fuck.
Stay to play.
State of play. They're not very happy with that, and I do not blame hardcore PlayStation guys that are standing up for that. I wasn't happy with a lot of things in the Xbox platform, like Sea of Thieves, and I stood up for it. And even though some fuck faces like you're just lying, like it didn't benefit me at all to do that. Aside from being a real fan that's speaking out about what they really want, right? So I don't blame those guys for disliking the fuck out of that to the point where Sony had to take it down and re-upload it, right? We all saw that. It was, it's interesting. Not everyone's going to do what you like, and Sea of Thieves definitely isn't for you. It's not for me. It does have its fans. It is doing well. I think they had 5 million monthly active users thanks to Game Pass, and the game has apparently sold very well as well. But at the end of the day, if Rare weren't updating this game every month and adding these big things, then I would be far more pissed about it than I am now, right? I will say at least they are patching it. The Tall Tale stuff, it actually has some kind of story stuff in it now, which is cool. It's still not like, I would probably give it maybe a 7.3 right now, even after a year of updates. Like that's how low my score was initially, but you know, yeah, Sea of Thieves.
Hold on 1 second, dealer. Shout out to my man Floyd Mayweather. He said Outer Worlds on PC exclusive to the Epic Store. Laughing my ass off. Actually, hold on, not to get ahead of us. I'm gonna get his thoughts, about the Epic Store also. But again, but that's what I mean by that, dealer. As far as forget this amount, the like button. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at this overall. You know what I mean? And not even comparing it to Sony. Just remove Sony from the equation, right? Because I think a lot of times that's Xbox guys. You speaking, well, look at what Sony's doing. We gotta look about what right here. When it comes to putting out content, or I will say this: I've always given Sony and Nintendo credit for taking care of their base, giving them what they want. Whether you like those games or not, whether you like the how you say the European male genres attack, single player type game, Sony
did you just say the European male what?
I'm just saying, I heard it all. I don't like one player, story driven game. One and dones, and whatever.
One and dones. Half the people saying one and dones loved fucking Rise. They loved Quantum Break.
Exactly.
And that one and done shit's so fucking annoying to me.
But whatever. So I'm not just saying. Like I said, I would say this. Because I don't like everything that Sony puts out, and I damn don't like anything Nintendo puts out. But I would say this: they do well at catering to their core. Now, as far as Microsoft, and again, you may feel different. Their messaging and what they've been delivering has been up and all over the place. Like, if just take a look at this dealer. I want you to step outside of dealer gaming channel for 1 minute, right? Put the Mountain Dew down, put the bag of Doritos down, and look back at right. And just going back, I guess you became a fan during the 360 era, right? Is that okay to summarize with you?
Original Xbox, yeah.
Okay, original Xbox. Oh, even better. Original Xbox to the 360. And take 3 years removed. Is looking back at Disney Rush, Zoo Tycoons, Phantom Dust, original assets.
You don't gotta tell me, bro. Like I was bitching about that. Like I was bitching about that hard.
Okay, I'm not saying that you weren't, but just taking back and not looking, and just saying like, what the fuck are they doing? Who was this for? They no longer. And I've also said this, but Microsoft to be so vocal within this community, you know what I mean? They are so far off the mark of what they what their core wants.
You want to know what the problem was and why we got Disney Infinity Go Fuck Yourself edition?
Okay.
You and I both, we talk to people that are actually in the industry.
For sure.
I've got some legitimate sources. I know you've talked to some people as well. And there are people out there that don't believe the Terry Myerson thing. There are some idiots out there that are so far out of the loop that they don't even know what the fuck this guy's done. They don't know his track record. They haven't even talked to anybody that's ever met the guy. Whereas people like myself, you've probably heard these stories too, of Terry Myerson siphoning funds from the Xbox division. He looked at Xbox as a way to make Windows money. And as a result, we lost 2 years of games, 2.5 years. He is the reason for the drought. He's the one who called and made the cuts. He was Phil's boss. Phil reported to him. And that's why Phil's promotion was actually notable, because Phil, he was out of the picture. Phil reported to Satya. Phil convinced Satya gaming is worth investing in. Boom, $10 billion annually. They just had the most profitable year ever as Xbox, which would mean nothing if they weren't investing in the software. We see them investing in the software. So it does mean something to me right now. So I honestly, some morons would say that's an excuse, but if you know anything about Xbox and any of the inner workings, if you actually talk to these people, you know Terry Myerson was an issue for Xbox. That issue is gone. Literally the month he left, they announced investment. All right? We know they're investing. We got to give them that. Double the studios, increasing the size of all the studios. Phil literally saying we're going to give our time, for the first time ever, he's saying we're going to give our teams more time to make more interesting worlds and characters. That's that shit I do like, right? Forza Motorsport, for the first time ever, is taking a 3-year development cycle. These things are all connected. And I just wish some people would stop fucking worrying. So like, Jesus Christ, it's video games. Like, just pay attention, right? I don't mind the PS4 as a platform. It does several things better than the Xbox. I've talked about the DVR feature, the recording feature, and how fast it is, though the quality isn't as high as the X. Like, I like certain things about it, though I prefer the ecosystem of the Xbox. But the thing that gets me riled up is hearing some of these radical fucking idiots. That's what pisses me off. Like, dudes got to chill out and kind of look at things, like take a breath and look at what's happening. Just like the Sony Microsoft partnership that literally told motherfuckers was coming forever ago. And there were even job listings. Everyone was ignoring them. And now that they're happening, people are trying to spin it. Oh, Xbox games come to PlayStation. Here's a link. They're trying to put all your games on every device. Just like Microsoft, even though Sony are leveraging traditional consoles, right? You and I both know, Zaire, that Sony are doing the same thing as Microsoft. In fact, they're getting Microsoft's help to do it.
Okay, all right, okay, we can go there. Hold on 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, also too, I just left a link down below if you want to join in live on air and ask us a question. That's a free messaging. Won't cost you a dime. I'm gonna leave the link again. I'm trying to find the mobile link, but anyway, you can leave us a message live on air. It'll pop up like a super chat. Again, it's free. It won't cost you a dime. I'm trying to find the mobile one also, but yeah, it won't cost you a damn dime. Just stick the link, send a message, that'll pop up like a super chat. Far as the cloud thing, right? And we can. Okay, I'm sorry, because you said it live.
My bad.
You said it a lot. Now I was saying the 3 years to Tony Myerson, right? But you also have to do this, right? Because this is a business. We're talking about a $1 trillion company, soon to be there, whatever the case may be, right? And I look at it as like this, right? How you say men lie? Oh, I say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Right now, the Xbox division is more profitable than they ever been, right? And then I say kind of coined the term which is called diabetic diet. They make so much money without giving us nothing. Without literally, these last 3 years have given us nothing. We haven't had. Let's think about this. And again, we have yet had a new game announcement, a big game announcement in the last 3 years, right? So you have, again, whether you like Sea of Thieves, I'm not knocking it if you're cool, but I look at games like that as the other, or as the dessert, or maybe the icing. But where's the full course meal, right? We haven't had anything. So we say Terry Myerson, right? Now we're talking about a $1 trillion company, right?
Now I do want to make clear that everything I just said about Terry Myerson doesn't mean that I'm not fucking pissed off.
Okay, no, I can dig it.
I'm with you. Like, where the fuck? Like, I've said this several times. Gears 5 is the fuck. Gears 4 was the last blockbuster we've had, and Gears 5 is coming out. It's been 3 years. Like,
it is. It may not seem like, and I know I get shit for, but I'm just being honest. Like, again, it's been. It may not seem like a time flies when you're in the vacuum. State
Mm-hmm.
also it's been 3 years. The last outside of Gears of Force and Halo, the last big game we had was Quantum Break. Just think about that.
And Quantum Break was like a seven.
I like it, and I don't really get too much caught up in the review scores. I mean, I like what I like, but I like games like that. I thought it was, but outside of that, whether it got slammed for not being 1080p, whether it got slammed for, you understand, whether it was a long movie and the cutscenes, I get all that. You understand what I'm saying, Dylan? But I'm saying the last game that we had, outside of Gears of Force and Halo, was Quantum Break, and it's sad to see. I'm gonna take it one step further, right? It's sad to say that the best game we had on this platform outside of Gears of Force and Halo in the last 3 years has been a $20 title on Cuphead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like I said, man. That's perfectly
cool.
valid.
Okay, yeah. So now again, right? So just looking at the competition, this is a business. Whether Microsoft don't look at Sony as competitive, we can get into the whole cloud stuff in a minute, right? We're just looking at that right there. Where you have Sony doing it a traditional way. Now maybe you may feel different. I've never really been a big fan of Play Anywhere, and I understand that I'm how you say maybe the dying guard at the gate, right? Traditional thing. I believe, in my opinion, that you have to have some things exclusive because exclusives gives to me your console its identity. You know what I mean? And you are son and soul of this box. You know what I mean? And I understand Microsoft make more money off their software and their services, and since why you have their software and services everywhere and profits are up. I get it. But I don't get a cut of that shit right there. And again, by their profits being up, where the fuck are the games? Now, I know I said a lot, I'm going to dial it all back, right? Now, going into next generation, I know, and it's kind of tricky when Microsoft says, hey, no gamer left behind, right? And I'm looking at this again. Now, rumor has it that the next, before you'd have heard it, I didn't show some DMs and I got somebody in trouble. I do apologize for that. It was a preview conversation. More or less, Microsoft back is stroking that $20 cock saying, hey, we like saying we have the most powerful console in the world. You know what I mean? And that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, you know what I mean? But what does all that power mean if you're still going to make Gears of War 19 and it still has to run on 2013 hardware? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, it's just like it's like you used to say, this was made for 1.8 teraflops, right?
1.8, yeah.
Gears 5 is one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah,
that real time cinematic, and those are real time. That was made for 1.3 teraflop hardware. Like anybody can kind of scale that stuff up and down. That's what I'm saying. That's the point of GameCore, right? Like I don't know exactly how it works, but from what I've heard, it's supposed to scale all this stuff up and down. It's kind of like PC gaming. PC still, in my opinion, has the best looking games there are. And if it isn't the best looking game, there's a mod out there that sure damn will make it look the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's on hardware that has a billion configuration options. This stuff, this Xbox One holding back and Xbox 2, that ain't going to be a fucking issue, right? And especially if they do the dev kits similarly to how they did with the X, where you push a button, you develop for the base, you push a button, you now have an Xbox One S configuration with a slightly higher clock and HDR. You push a button, it unlocks the 6.4 teraflops, so on and so forth, right? If they do that again, I don't know how they're going to do it. They're going to phase the X out, obviously, for the Lockhart, which will be better all around. It'll be a better all around machine, and the all digital may very well replace the S to get the price down as low as possible, which the all digital price is way too high. But yeah, scalability, I don't think is the issue. We see it on PC every day. We've seen it for decades. That's not going to be a big deal. The issue is what kind of titles are they going to bring? That's the thing. And as of right now, I think it kicks off with, whether you like it or not, Ori 2. It's going to review well. Also, Gears of War 5. Early next year, Ninja Theory's B-Team title. B-Team, but it's going to be a smaller Ninja Theory title. It's not the Hellblade team. That's important to remember. They've been working on this multiplayer game for a while. You're also going to get probably Forza Motorsport 8. Yeah, it's another Forza. And hopefully something like Halo Infinite or a big launch title. You need that. Mm-hmm. And from a first party, I wouldn't say that's bad. I wouldn't say that's bad. If you look at certain years with PlayStation, especially even 2018, they had God of War, like I said, Insomniac made, and people list all these weird ass. Oh, Cyclone Sandals came out. Like I don't give a two shits. Mm-hmm. Like that I don't remember. I know you don't like that shit either, right? Got to call that bullshit out. Get those fucking dumbass lists out of here. We're talking about real blockbusters here that are going to move. They're going to move shit, right? So I think next year is going to be a good year. Gears of War 5 is promising as well. You're a big Gears fan.
Yeah.
Gears of War 5 will be one of the best looking games of all time. It's targeting 60 FPS at scaling resolutions up to 4K on the X. And it's going to have the craziest story departure of any open world hub areas. You can explore, go around, customization, along with probably, the best Gears multiplayer ever, hopefully. I'm really hoping. I got high hopes for that one, man. They said this is the first take on Gears. The Gears 4, they played it safe. He literally said that to prove they could do it. And with Gears 5, it's their first real Gears game. So I'm hoping. But if you're tired of Gears, I completely get that.
Okay, all right. Here's the thing. All right, now Gears. Now here's the problem with that. Gears 5 does look amazing, right? But the only issue I have with that, though, again, dealer, and I'm a Gears of War fanatic, is that and I think a lot of Xbox guys, not even the Xbox we can slam for, is that the console version or is that the PC version? Rock, and this is the issue that I have. They've come out, themselves said, this game was targeting 4K 60 for PC, right? The footage that we saw was the PC version of the game, right? I'm not saying it's not going to look great on the X, you know what I mean? But I know, and again, that's not what I'm going to get on my box. Looks great. And I'm gonna.
No, I think it is. I think it is indicative of what you're going to see. I really do. Just like Gears of War 4, when Digital Foundry confirmed high settings, you're not running at medium settings in the Xbox One X. I don't know where this narrative came from. It's obviously not from you, I don't think, but that's not what you're getting here. If you've been paying attention to like Digital Foundry stuff, you are getting some medium settings, like with a lot of third-party stuff, especially like medium shadow, so on and so forth. The games still look really good, but with like Gears and Forza, they've been high ultra. That's been talked about. I mean, first party especially. Forza Horizon 3 had some better shadow settings than you could even get on PC. Mm-hmm. They don't really half-ass stuff. So I think Gears will look really, really good on the X. If some will disagree, that's fine. But I'm going to look at Gears of War 4 on the X at 60 FPS. And I played that on the PC plenty. And it looks damn good compared to the PC version. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Question. A lot of people were saying that... they're giving Microsoft to this E3, and that's that, right? That's that. If they don't fucking deliver on PC, I mean, they don't deliver this generation. I mean, this E3, that they're done, right?
Who's done?
Like, a lot of people saying, they're still, because again, last E3, all we got was Gears 4 and Halo, right? I understand they bought LLCs, they bought licenses, they bought this and that. We don't know,
Well, think about it. What was the biggest complaint going into E3? Where are the games? You guys need more studios. And I think they went out of their way.
Here's the thing. The biggest, of course, here's the thing. You got to be honest here, Dylan. I got attacked for saying 343 and Nicole, there are over 500 people that are working there, right? They need to make more than one goddamn game. And I said, this could be not listen. And I got in shit for this again, but I'm just going to be honest here, right? And I had no people over there, but I became pretty friendly with them, right? When I said, look at Turn 10, they can make other games outside of it. And when I said that a certain individual said they didn't put themselves $100,000 in debt to make car games going around the track, that was a direct quote from coming across the pond from one of the guys over there. Now, again, maybe Microsoft ain't had the best talent, right? Maybe their best talent was, hey, they money had shit, and buy games. And
a developer said that?
No. Well, as far as they didn't put themselves $100,000 in debt.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
But when I asked for, you said with the narrative, you need to buy more studios. I said, even with the studios that they have, they can be working on other projects, or whatever. So we're fine. What I mean by this, you look at Uncharted, right? It can be arguably said that The Last of Us 2 or Uncharted, you can, what's bigger? I think Uncharted, The Last of Us was probably bigger than Uncharted, but you may feel it. But they took 10 people from the Uncharted team and started them to work on The Last of Us. Well, if you like the game or not, they got that game was a huge success, over 17 million copies sold. Man, when you got a studio with over 500 people there, right? You mean to tell me they can't do anything else besides Halo? But again, going into the E3, of course, it's about the games. It's always about the games, Dylan. And all we got again was Gears, Forza, and Halo. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying with the studios, but I don't think that's the right solution. No. I would say that fuck having these teams split off and slow up development and resources and dividing everything. Buy more fucking you need more studios. Like fix the root issue, which is get more manpower. And that's what they did. Like if they said turn 10 here, you already make the best racing games, and if you stop making them, a lot of people would be pissed. Let's go ahead and just split you off, and you can make a fucking Ninja Turtle game. Fuck it. All right. Now, a lot of people will be really, really fucking annoyed. They'd be pissed off because that's not why turn 10's there. And if you're working at turn 10, you did that voluntarily. You know what you're doing. You know what you're in for. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. I mean, people leave all the time, right? So instead of doing that and saying, go ahead and divide your resources, your thought process, your manpower,
Resources. Okay, all right.
they did what they needed to do, which is actually get more bodies on the floor to actually make more games, you know?
Okay, hear about this, right? I don't think you understand. It's over 500 people at 343.
Yeah, that's not ridiculous, dude. Assassin's Creed teams is like 900 people, bro.
Oh, but they work on other type projects too.
They roll over, they inherit each other once a game's done.
That's not 900 was working on Assassin's Creed. What I'm saying is this, right? You look at Naughty Dog, right? Are they spitting resources when they go? And again, they already been approved to make another third-person action type game outside of the Uncharted and Last of Us French, series, right? That's 3. So now you can most likely knock them down for another AAA studio. Why can't Microsoft do the same thing? Because here's what I mean by that, right? When I say that developers are artistes, is arguably say that maybe had Microsoft let Bungie create Destiny, whether you like Destiny, maybe this might have been a whole new different generation for Microsoft. It's arguably said that, they say Destiny was one of the most successful multiplayer to come out this generation. Whether you say you like it or not, but it is what it is. That was in-house. And one of the rifts, I say, in the fabric there is that Bungie wanted to create something outside of Halo. Microsoft didn't allow them to do that. You know what I mean? And the rest is
that was like the bomber Microsoft though.
Oh, what, I'm just saying whatever. You know what I mean? And then it's not so much if people don't like what Microsoft is doing, because this also got brought up to me. But what's his name? What's the goddamn boy's name to be on BGST? Xbot. He said, well, people stay behind and work on Halo because they love Halo. I said, no, motherfuckers stay behind for job security. My motherfucker just told me, hey, I just have twins. I don't know what the fuck that guy's talking about. I just had fucking twins. You know what I mean? Like, I like making games as my job, but, it's more or less for job security. Now, what I mean by that, again, is not so much slowing down resources, but when you have a studio like that fucking big and again, massive, like, bro, like, in fact, they went out and they bought more studios. I can, now whether those games may be exclusive dealer, we can talk about that leading up to, it can be a segue into that. But
think about it this way.
Okay.
Halo 5 is the highest rated exclusive first person shooter this generation, right? At like a mid 80. Killzone is like a low 70, just for reference.
You said Halo is what? The highest rated first party?
No, Halo 5 is the highest rated first person shooter that it is like a brand exclusive or first person from either Sony or Microsoft, right? It's at a mid 80, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Killzone's at like a low 70, just for reference, right?
Okay.
Now, a lot of people still feel like they didn't nail Halo even still. Like, there's some people out there feel like they still haven't made 343 still hasn't knocked a Halo out of the park or even made a great Halo in terms of the single player, especially. Yes. Now, a lot of people love the multiplayer. Some say, most say it's the best multiplayer ever, but there's a lot of people that want to see 343 kind of master this, I guess, before. And like I said, I just feel like they nipped it in the bud by getting more studios. Like, there's
absolutely right.
Halo takes 3 or 4 years to make. You don't necessarily feel fatigued of it as much,
Hey, listen, you're absolutely right. I mean, they did. How you say one way is to stop, because again, you ever watch the studio dealer? At the start of the generation, they let go of a lot of studios. You know what I mean? So, they had some with the motherfuckers that made Max Church of the Brotherhood, which I thought was a unique type game. They canned a lot of motherfuckers at the start. So they even let go Lionhead. I'm a huge Fable fan, you know what I mean? So they had some studios they let go for whatever the case may be, but they went back and bought some more studios. And then you said, as far as Halo, you're right, some people had issues with Halo 5. I wish I had Neff here. Neff's a huge Halo fan. A few things that it was missing upon launch. Then you had the issues. Well, that was the Master Chief Collection. Didn't work right. Right. But whatever the case may be. But I'm also from the mindset there that all you need is one Halo, one generation. And I wish they would handle it like they do with Destiny. When they do those expansion packs, they roll them out like it's a new game. I don't think you need 2 or 3 Halos within a generation. That's just...
You say you want one Halo, a whole generation?
Yeah, a generation with 5 years. Look at Destiny, you know what I mean? So they support that with the map packs. They roll it out like it's a whole new thing. Like, because it comes with...
I think they could crank out 2 games in 7 or 8 years.
Halos?
Yeah, 2 Halos. I mean, Halo 5 already has by far the longest development cycle ever. And Bonnie Ross confirmed that, the reason for that is that Halo 5's engine was trash. It was hard to work with, and that's why they invested in the Slip Space engine, which is supposed to be a lot better. I don't know if you remember, but there were job listings leaked of a 343 seeking a ultra high-end graphics technical director, basically to specialize at 4K 60 FPS graphics, and the Slip Space engine was developed from that effort, and who knows what they'll use that engine with. But point is, that's why Halo Infinite's taken a while to make, and they said they're going to release it when it's done. Don't be surprised, like I'm sure you've heard, but Infinite's multiplayer very well may be free to play. Microsoft feel like, they can't really compete in the modern world. Or actually, I feel like a lot of people are going to end up doing this as well. And I'm pretty sure Rand has said this first and foremost, but you're going to get a lot of free to play stuff in the future for the multiplayer side, and then potentially, the campaign may cost something, but they're doing things differently. It's not traditional, but
okay, I know what. Fine, fuck it. Hot seat. I'm not gonna keep it too much long. How do you feel about that? The way that things are moving along, as far as and again, next generation, or the way that we consume our games, or whether it's the cloud. Like, how does dealer feel about that?
What do you mean? Like
the way the industry is going, the way that Microsoft is going from, they've been kind of vocal about them not, quote unquote, more or less wanting to compete in a traditional way. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in terms of their vision, in terms of what they're doing, they're already ahead, and that's why Sony signed this deal. I mean, the proof is right there. They're wanting to do the same thing, right? So in terms of the traditional sense, they're behind 40 million plus whatever to 100 million.
Yeah.
But in terms of their long-term vision, that 2 billion, that's very real. They're not the only ones trying to do it, and Sony are literally asking for their help with this deal. It says it right there in the report. This will be used for Sony's their PlayStation streaming stuff, their streaming services, and their games. So don't be surprised if you see them unhook them rusty ass dog shit Gaikai servers and plug it into Azure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can get it as far as that. I'm with you on it in 55%. They are. I'm saying they will be using some PlayStation Now, and it's a no brainer. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Do you think that they'll try to connect PSN up through Azure itself? Like
here's my opinion, and I said this on multiple dog shit shows, right? And I said that this is coming from a person who doesn't like game streaming. I didn't care for PlayStation Now. I didn't care for On Live, and then I just for the purpose of my dog shit channel, I got a link for the what do you call it? Google Project Stream. And dealer scared the hell out of me. The reason why it scared the hell out of me because, again, it looked better than my $500 console, me running Assassin's Creed. It was Odyssey, it was a 1080p. I didn't know what the specs were at the time. 1080p, 60 frames a second, all the bells and whistles. And there was no issues whatsoever. Now, I had 300 up, 300 down. You know what I mean? I think the minimum they were asking for was 15 up, 15 down. The minimum.
There's definitely issues. Yeah. Have you seen that video of the input lag?
Oh, I didn't have any. I'm just saying with that little thing that I had, there wasn't any issues. That's what I'm saying. It scared the hell out of me. Like, it worked. And I'm not saying that it
Why did it scare you though? Like, I don't understand.
Because I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting that.
Like, there's a lot of people in this community that still have, and I ain't saying you do. You can tell me if you do. But there's a lot of people still have that 2013, 2014 mentality where fuck you, buy a PlayStation or buy an Xbox to play my games. Where Microsoft and Sony, they done drove by your ass. You're naked on the side of the interstate. They drove past you. Like, what the fuck you doing back there? Get up here. We're going over here, right? You're back there arguing with some fuckface about what games you can get on what platforms. They're like idiots. We're both putting everything on everything. The point of a business is to make money. And that is going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's just the way things are going to go.
Don't get me wrong. You're absolutely right. I got to shout out to my man Floyd Mayweather who sent a message via the free app. He said, Floyd Mayweather. He says, dealer, are you worried for Microsoft E3 be too much third party shown as a Sucker Punch, Dying Light, Star Wars, Dragon Age? There's enough time. Yeah, because we had a list of confirmed games that was going to be shown at E3.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself. It's all about the games. So I don't need like last year, Sony's E3. I thought they got fucking crushed because they had very few games, They did have a massive game, The Last of Us 2, but I'm sitting there for an hour and a half, not fucking 10 minutes. And I'm watching boom, 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 game, 50 games compared to fucking, a handful of VR games and some dog shit that I just thought was one of Sony's worst E3s ever. And I thought Microsoft steamrolled the fuck out of them. And if you go back and watch them, you go back and tell me which one you're the most entertained by. And then do that through an unbiased lens. I give Sony props all the fucking time. And I can honestly say I think Microsoft easily took it. And I'm not only playing exclusives. Like, since when is it all about only the exclusives? I'm sitting here playing Odyssey for 200 hours. Witcher 3, best game of the generation to me. Shit.
All right, but here's the thing, though, Dylan. To be fair, I can get Odyssey anywhere on 25 different devices, right?
You can. Right. And Microsoft do not care where you get it.
Okay, but
they do not care. Like, if you want to buy it, like, that's like a console is just an expensive fucking car you got to buy to get the shit that you got. The gas is what makes the money. And they got to say it's expensive car so you can buy the gas, right?
Hold on, what you say, Chanel? Yeah.
You could buy Xbox game on a streaming. You could buy it on PC. You could buy it on Xbox.
And I can care how Microsoft makes their money. I'm just talking when when I look at E3, I like the multi-plats. They're cool. I don't get them anywhere. But I was looking again. I was looking for something new. And again, you talking about comparing show. Yes, I think Microsoft had a better showing in E3 than Sony last year. My man with the flute on the stage is a little weird. I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm listening. I'm saying, but when it comes, like I said, exclusive content, and that's where I'm at, dealer. When I'm saying, as far as I may have lost, and I said you still ride high. You know what I mean? My thing is, can they deliver? Will they deliver? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I ain't gonna lie. You talk somebody,
it's been a while, right?
Yes, it's been a very long time. We talking about again 3 years of nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
So here's the thing. Listen, I'm swinging for the fences here. Right? I'm swinging for the fences. You sound more hyped and more pumped up as ever. Shout out to Miss Frisbee, Miss Free for singing the message on the free app, and also too shout out to my man Chad. Said Dilla can sell those Xbox boys anything. They're idiots. Listen. My question is here: why are you you're still running 115 Park Bleeds Green? Why? Why have your faith not wavered whatsoever?
What do you mean? If anything, for one, my faith has wavered. For one, faith is a strong fucking word. These dudes need to get it's time to get a life and go outside and shit. Okay, this is video games for one, right? I'm gonna answer your question real quick. Okay. Faith, if there is a thing, has been wavered. Okay. That's why I put out my Sea of Thieves review. That's why I've been asking for better and complaining for 2 years straight or more. That's the stuff that I do. I don't sit there and cry and fucking, oh my God, Microsoft has turned into a service right before our eyes and make you fucking cry like a bitch. I'm not about that. I'm not going to cry every single fucking week. I'm a gamer. I just had fun with Rage 2. I just had fun with Days Gone. That's the kind of stuff I got. I got all the platforms and I've been very critical of Microsoft. But at the end of the day, if someone sits there and says I'm selling Xboxes, you obviously are fucking stupid and not listening to what I'm saying on my channel, especially. All right, it's okay to be excited about the future of Xbox. When they've doubled their studios, think about it. If Sony doubled their studios, you'd be like, holy fuck, they're going in for the kill. Microsoft doubled their fucking studios. They're hired on each one. They're putting more money in than ever. I mean, I don't understand. Am I not allowed to be optimistic? Because
no. What I mean by here's the thing. What makes me a little alarming to me, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, is that I see they're making a lot of good investments in what they're doing behind the scenes. I get it. I've also heard things. But my thing is,
good things, right? I mean, you've heard really good things, right?
But I'm gonna be honest with you. With this regime and what's in the dollar, I wouldn't be surprised to see those games on other platforms.
Who cares, man? No. That's what I'm saying. That's that 2013-14 mentality, dude.
I said, listen, I told you. Maybe I'm just the old guard at the gate. You understand what I'm saying? Me personally, the reason why I buy consoles or I will have multiple consoles is that I can I buy the PlayStation because I can't get it charted on the Xbox, right?
But how often do you really want to play that thing? No, I know why you still play Xbox. You prefer the online, you prefer the ecosystem. There are other aspects of this that are not discussed besides exclusives. Less than 10% of gamers even buy the exclusives. I buy pretty much every single one of them. I'm one of the 10%. But let's not pretend this is applicable to everyone because it's really not.
I'm not saying it, but I'm saying as far as me, what you call the diehard to go out and buy a final box. I'm just saying if I can play your content everywhere else, that's $500 again I can have in my pocket. And listen,
Exactly.
and so even going into the next generation, I get a lot of the multi-plats free, and yes, of course. And listen, one thing is like I don't know where I might be financially next goddamn year. You know what I mean? I may not have the supposed to own multiple consoles. What I'm saying is that I don't this in this regime, Microsoft buying, I don't know, all these different studios. I don't think it's just going to be exclusive to the Windows 10 or how you want to say it. And I think some of those multi-plats or whatever.
Let me ask you a question. Why does that being exclusive make the game better for you?
Because okay, better. No, it's not making better. Here's the thing. What's one thing nagging the Xbox platform? Is what?
Well, Phil said it himself. He would put games everywhere. If Sony would allow, he would put the games on the PlayStation. I mean, they want to put games everywhere.
Well, what's one thing knocking the Xbox is what? The lack of what? Exclusive software.
Compelling bluff. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be exclusive. If I can take something, and I'm not like, let me put it to you this way. I'm not a PC guy. I don't play on PC even 1% of the time.
Okay.
I'm inherently a console dude. It is what it is. If I can buy one copy of a game like Gears 5 and have access to it multiple places, what is so bad about me having access to my things that I paid money for in more places if I desire? Now, if you're the kind that's like, it needs to be exclusive, don't fucking play it on your cell phone. Don't play it on PC. And ask yourself.
Okay, all right. I mean, really, let's be honest with you, Deal. So, how would you really feel if it came out that Halo Infinite was releasing day and date on the PlayStation?
Well, I mean, that ain't happening, but I would be like, well, that's, I mean, if you're a PlayStation guy and Sony aren't doing the same thing, that's a hell of a deal. Go for it. Do you want to sit there? I mean, are your friends there? That's the other thing I would say. Are your friends on the PlayStation? All right, go for it. Like, I'm not into that shit, right?
No, I'm just saying, because again, we're talking about exclusives here. So I'm just saying Microsoft.
Exclusives are gone for Microsoft and Sony. We know that. Sony are putting the shit on cell phones. I mean, they're putting them on every device, right?
I don't think God of War is coming on the Xbox. I don't see that happening.
Coming on the what?
The Xbox. You may have been.
No. The Xbox game. Who told you Xbox games are coming to PlayStation?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about cell phones or Windows.
Yeah, no. Xbox games ain't coming to PlayStation. As a matter of fact, the motherfuckers that are saying that damn report, they're sitting there saying, well, because Sony are asking from. First off, you got people thinking that Sony got paid to do this deal, right? What a bunch of idiots. So that's misconception one. Secondly, you got people, I don't know if they're serious, they're trolling. They think Gears is coming to PlayStation or other shit. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. That's not happening.
You went on the tirade I was talking about. I said, them buying these different studios with this new regime or whatever. Like whatever outside of the deals that they already had in place, because they already put in games like Cuphead and
which isn't their IP. It's not their studio.
Well, they published it or whatever.
They did publish it, but they also published Mass Effect and Rise of the Tomb Raider and all kinds of other shit.
I'm saying, but only on another.
I do think you'll see Ori and the Will of the Wisps on the Switch day one, and that is their IP. It's not their team, though. I'm told it is their IP, but it's not their team. Don't be surprised if you see Ori 2 show up on the Switch day one, or sometime soon after.
Okay, as a diehard Xbox guy, how does that make you feel? Or you say, fine, fucking cool with all that?
What do you mean by die hard? I mean, I play on the box and in the ecosystem that I prefer, where my friends are at.
How does that make you feel? Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, that, damn.
I mean, you got diehard Xbox guys that like the dudes that attacked me and rode my sack when I hammered Sea of Thieves. And then you got guys that are just keeping shit real and asking people, why are you so offended that your game is on a fucking some other platform? How does that affect your enjoyment? That's what I ask people. Why? Just play it where you want. If you buy one copy and you could take that and play it somewhere else, isn't that good for you? How is that bad for you?
Bad.
One reason that buying one copy of a game and it going across several devices is bad for you.
No, well, I won't say. Here's the thing. Now we're being facetious. I won't say on several devices. I'm talking about consoles. I don't have any need to play games on PC or a cell phone. It's not that serious to me. I'm just saying, but the reason why I buy consoles again is for the exclusive content. If I can, I'll give you an example. Why I'm trying to make me pissed. If I can have got Uncharted 4 on my Xbox, there was no need for me to.
You wouldn't have bought a PS3 or a PS4.
There you go. I mean,
yeah,
that's what. That's
fine, dude. If they do that and you can't get Sony games on the Xbox, then buy a fucking PlayStation, dude.
Yeah,
like that. Show them with your money. But people like myself who look at Play Anywhere, even though I don't really use it as a positive to be able to take my game somewhere else if I need to, that's a positive. There's nothing bad about that. That's not anti-consumer. There's people who don't even know what anti-consumer means. That's buy one copy and get another one for free that will scale. I got to knock at the door, bro. One second.
Okay. Hold up. When he comes back, hold up, man. Grab me a bottle of water. Hold on. Hold on. Here I come. Next question. Here I come. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I'm grabbing my headphones. Here we go. All right. There's something ringing in my ear. Hold on. I got shit ringing in my ear. Stuart Stokes. He said, you know what's still exclusive? You did, Dylan? I'll wait till you get back to read the question. Oh, man. I can't see it. Hold on. All right, my man. Stuart Stokes says that you still know what exclusive to Xbox deal. The Xbox Live paywall, why it's free on PC. All right. Hold on. I wasn't trying to treat him as a hostile witness. Hey, man. All right. Niggas in the driveway, man. When they get back, it's like Jeopardy here. Also, too late as waiting for Dylan to come back so he can answer some of these questions. Because I got 2 questions for him. Let's see before I throw my. All right, Z Breakers, Joe. Exclusives don't matter. Oh, man. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. When he comes back, any moment now. But I'm from the mindset, I'm going to say this again. Maybe I may be a little old school. Exclusives are important. I mean, that's like telling Nintendo, that Mario's not important, or even telling Sony that God of War is not important. Exclusives are important, They are. The game of the year was what? God of War? Exclusive. Then again, if there's no exclusive.
What the hell's going on?
Oh, you're back. Okay.
No, this is Neff.
Oh, it's Neff? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
My man Dylan, my man D.
All right, my bad.
Oh, Dylan's back.
Sorry.
Hey,
you can't help some shit, all right?
Ain't no problem. My man Stuart Stokes said, you know what's still exclusive to Xbox dealer? The Xbox Live paywall, why is it free on PC?
Yeah, sure is. I mean, talked about that as well. That's an issue.
Okay, hold on.
Like, motherfuckers coming at me like I haven't already talked about this on my own fucking Xbox show.
Hold on, my man Sean Rashid said, throw this man in the bus. He's a fucking fraud. He's selling snake oil. What I'm asking you, dealer, are you from the mindset where you're saying now, that exclusives are not important?
No, I mean, I don't call them. I call it's first party. First party is important. I don't need to. If I could play Days Gone somewhere else,
What do you mean by first party? Like, far as what? Like Spider-Man?
first party, like Microsoft need to put people to work, make some games.
Well, exclusive content, whether that you can't.
No, I mean, I don't give a shit that it's exclusive. Like it being exclusive doesn't make it better. Days Gone would have been better on PC.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean the frame rate in that game. And keep in mind, I like this game, all right, but the frame rate was trash. I would have rather played it at 60 FPS.
You don't want to hit of that DMT and came back with your cable on.
No, I mean that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Environment. I'm just saying.
That's just a fact. I don't know if you played that bitch, but you know,
I have yet to boot it up. I promise to do it this Saturday. But what I'm saying is that exclusive content. If you look at Game of the Year, right, was what God of War exclusive to Sony to that box, right? I'm not talking about sales. It's like saying the fact that why do you think or Mario, what's it called? What that damn Mario? Any one of those Mario games, any one of those Pokemon games that comes out exclusively on the Switch. Why do you think the Switch sells so well? It's not because
it's competing with itself, man.
I'm just saying it's not because of the multiplayer. It's because of exclusive software that you can't get anywhere else besides right there. You know,
I mean, think about it though. I don't care about their sales. I care about what kind of software I'm getting. So if you're talking about like, are you personally more vindicated because you can only play God of War on the PlayStation?
No,
that's weird to me. Like you're weird, right? Like motherfuckers in the chat, if you think that, you're weird. Me personally, I loved God of War, but no bit of it being exclusive, no bit of Forza being only on Xbox and not on PlayStation made me think, oh man, Forza's a great fucking game. That shit's stupid as fuck.
No, I don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I'm not saying you may not have those people out there. I'm just talking on the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? What makes my Xbox or whatever? What about this? What makes some people in Xbox fans maybe Gears, Forza, and Halo? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that comment 1,001 times. Now, if you remove that from the equation, that you can get Gears and Forza and Halo anywhere, or boom, again, you know what made me, believe it or not, what made me an Xbox guy was probably one of the things was Driving Force was Xbox Live, right? I couldn't get that anywhere else, but now I got Xbox Live on the Switch. You know what I mean? It's like it's everything they're taking away from this box. But again, I think it's a dangerous thing to say that exclusives don't matter.
I didn't say the exclusives don't matter. First party is what matters to me. Like you call it exclusives, you want everything to be only on one box, so there's a vindication and a reason to own it and use it.
I mean, hold on. Let me pay the bills real quick. My man Harry Hill said Microsoft was out here to sell a brand, which is the Xbox. Notice box a console. Why put things that are supposed to sell the box everywhere? Just forget pro consumer. This is a business, not charity.
Huh? Can you read that again?
Okay, my man Harry Heck said Microsoft is out here to sell us a brand, which is Xbox. Notice box a console. Why put the things that are supposed to sell the box everywhere? Just to forget pro consumer. This is a business, not charity. Last but not least,
he said it himself. It's a business, not charity.
My man Stuart Stokes said Gears Tactics is exclusive to PC. Isn't it?
It's not exclusive to PC. It's coming to Xbox at a later date. Next.
Okay, but here's you may feel different about that. I don't give a fuck, but I'm saying the fact that
I know you got to pay the bills.
Yeah, but they go day and date to the PC. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's going to come to PC first, yeah.
But okay, well, let me read my free bills here, right? But again, I got here. My man left the comment and read the free play app. He said this motherfucker got to be getting high with daily. Ain't no way in hell he says that exclusive doesn't matter. My God, Pokemon and Mario sells in the tens of millions. Fuck is this guy smoking?
And I'm the high one. I didn't even. You motherfuckers are already taking shit out of context. First party matters. The fact that I don't give a shit if they sell 100 million Switches thanks to fucking Pokemon. I could give two shits. It's first party. I want more first party games from Microsoft. I don't need them to be, I can only play them here, so go fuck yourself. That's fucking stupid.
Okay. So second party exclusives don't matter. It's just
all game. I think all options and any kind of variety you can get, it matters. But Microsoft damn well better be making some games, and they are. They better be putting out some software.
Okay, last question before I let you go, dealer. Next generation comes around, we say 2020, right? November 2020. Whether Sony, they probably want to launch a week before, whatever the fuck. They both come out in November of next year, right? Do you think it's important for Microsoft to be the most powerful next generation?
I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on your perspective. If you need vindication, if you're not the type to play on PC, If you don't want to stream shit, which I don't, then yeah, they need to put out the performance. And according to Phil, that's what they're gonna do. So I mean, everyone wants more power. Let's not forget the fucking tune for 4 years. I ain't playing it unless it's 1080p. Every multiplat's better. A lot of you motherfuckers got amnesia. Performance matters. I think it's more important than ever. And things change, people change. But at the end of the day, I think that stuff's very important. It's part of the reason that God of War was so immersive to me. It's part of the reason that I enjoyed Days Gone more than some other games. It looked really damn good. I was really immersed thanks to those visuals. So performance is important. Microsoft know that. They've already talked about that. And hopefully they do their best to compete. Just like Sony. Sony better not come out underpowered. And anyone damage controls that's a dumb bitch too. You need to ask for better as well. So.
Hold up. Shout out my man Stuart Stoke. Hey, say dealer, let me get a link to that source that Gears Tactics come to the Xbox. Welcome, Echo.
I don't need to link you nothing. You can't even read, bitch.
But somebody can say so. But I'm just saying. Just say both consoles come out, and one is 12.2 T flops, one is 12.1 or whatever the fuck, about the same.
Yeah. Then it's going to come down to like proprietary customizations, basically.
And it's not
so let's say one console has a block of dedicated, specialized cores that could be used for physics, AI, ray tracing. What are they going to do that makes it special, right? Because there's going to be things to separate the boxes. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I'm really interested in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Like if not saying or it's just your opinion. What's one feature, something that you want to see going into next gen as far as this console, on the hardware level that we didn't
physics, and first and foremost frame rate. I need that 60 FPS option every single game.
Okay.
And then physics is going to be a big one, especially if you're getting, obviously we know we're getting into, but the amount of threads is kind of up in the air. But at the end of the day, frame rate, physics, we know load times are going to be dramatically faster on both systems. So I'm really hoping for the best. The Lockhart is looking to come in at around $300, and that's going to give you slightly less power on the GPU, somewhere around the PS4 Pro, but on a newer architecture. But it's going to be better, much faster RAM. It's going to be much more RAM. It's going to be much faster CPU. So all around, you're going to have a much better experience. Games are going to look better. You get more 60 FPS options at 1080p. I think they'll market that at 1080p. The Anaconda, $500. You're looking at double the power of the X, somewhere around there, and that's going to be the box that's really going to. I think people are going to be really impressed with both. But no matter what, if you don't want to play on Xbox, don't play on Xbox. If Xbox games on PC, you want to play on PC, you're literally doing what they want you to do. They put it on there so you can fucking buy it. They don't give two shits where you buy it. They make the money on the software. They lose money on some of the hardware. They don't care what the fuck you buy. Just buy the games. So.
All right. I think I just about asked you just about everything I wanted to ask you. Next generation. Okay. So
what are your thoughts? I mean, tell us what you kind of hoping for, like hardware wise.
I'm simple. Obviously, I put the C in casual. Someone said I put the C in Caucasian, right? I just before just going forward. If 4K is going to be the stick, more or less that was just going on with these mid-gen refreshes. You want this upscale 4K or dynamic 4K. It's going to be something more outside of that. Now, will it be 60 frames? I hope so. But, it all depends on what third party. I think, given the engines that we have right now, and these rumor specs that we're supposed to get on these consoles, or whatever the case, if we don't go from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 or Frostbite 4.0, whatever the case, if we stick with it, I don't think 4K 60 should be a problem. And I think, this will be the quote-unquote maybe the selling point, for, these consoles, next generation, because mid-gen, mid-gen cross-gen is not going anywhere. So when the new Assassin's Creed 8 shit, just for shits and giggles, is going to be on the Xbox or the Pro, or it's going to be on previous gen hardware. So it has to be a selling point that separates the two. And I think the 60 frames is something that they're going to market. You know what I mean?
That and load times, yeah.
And maybe something else that maybe some, I don't know, maybe longer, something to integrate better with social media or something. That's, or somebody maybe like Tim Dog said, maybe emojis, maybe Xbox making it exclusive emojis. Like I don't know, but it's gonna have to be something. Outside of that. Let me pay this bill. Something's ringing in my ear. Hold on 1 second. It's ringing in my ear. Can I see it? We got what we got here. Something just ringing in my ear. What the hell happened? Oh, where'd it go? Can you see it, Dylan? I can't see it. There we go, right here.
Nah,
I can't. Stuart Stokes said so. So I'm not getting a link, and you're just talking out of your ass like always. Keep to the facts. There's 3 PC exclusives that I can't play on Xbox, but keep pushing these false narratives to appease your shit.
Hey, what's this guy's name?
Stuart Stokes.
Hey, Stuart Stokes, shut the fuck up, all right? I got a track record. You might not know because you don't watch. There's a reason motherfuckers have written articles about me. I've leaked several things in the past. If you don't want to believe me, I don't give 2 shits, all right? Gears of War Tactics will come to Xbox. Mark it down.
All right, and your last opinion. I'm sorry for me, but I did forgot. What's your thoughts about the Epic Store getting exclusive PC? Exclusive content, basically. You know what I mean? The Epic Store.
I think for PC guys, why they're complaining, I don't know. It's called competition. If you want a monopoly, you're on the wrong platform. So we've already got GOG, we've already got Origins, we've already got Steam, we already got Windows Store, we already got fucking Uplay. What's another one? I mean, it ain't like you should be bitching in the first place. You got 6 launchers. Choose one, choose all, download them. And what Epic's doing, which is actually good, is providing developers with a much higher percentage of their own earnings. And if you're working with Unreal Engine 4, they don't take as much. They don't take any royalties, I don't think, off of the game as long as you're using their engine. Whereas right now they get a certain percentage of every copy. So not only do they not take 30%, it's far lower, but they don't take royalties. And that's good for development. That's why you're seeing developers flock over there. World War Z sold 250,000 copies over there in no time, right? That game sold really well. And it's a good game if you haven't played it.
Yeah.
But it's competition, man. Like I don't. These PC guys talk about it's open and it's just this and that. It's just like, you sound so stupid. Like this is what you're bragging about. It's open, and get used to it because other publishers, they're probably going to split off as well. They're tired of paying 30% of everything they make to Valve, who's been sitting on their fucking asses. It's going to take Epic a while to get those features that you want, though. But at the end of the day, Steam was dry when it started. PSN was dry. Xbox Live was dry. All of them had no features when they started. At least Epic is giving an incentive for competition.
Shout out to my man MM2K. Said, without top-notch exclusives, you lose draw to your unit from customers than to devs because of sales. Bad for consoles-only gamers.
Nah, I don't. I mean, for one, we need top-notch exclusives no matter what platform it's on. The better quality, the better. If you're a console gamer that feels like you need an exclusive to vindicate your box, then I'd say you're one of the few. I feel like I said, already stated the numbers of people who play them. I want more first party, but if you're one of those that wants a game that you can only play on Xbox, then you might not want to go to Xbox. You might not want to go to PlayStation, and everything's going everywhere. That's a long-term goal. They're all going to make more money, and they're going to do that by getting more users.
I guess this is the last question I promise I'm going to ask you. Going to end with now, do you think Microsoft could compete next generation, right? With their so low of output, you know what I mean, as far as exclusive content wise, you know what I mean?
So I tried to turn that down and asked, do you really think they're not going to make any games when they just doubled their studio?
Oh, no. They can, listen, the question is not making games, it's the quality of games. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the quality.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think people are. I hate saying Gears 5 because there's a lot of them. There's not more of them than God of Wars and Uncharted and shit. I don't think, but there's still a lot of them, right? And we want those games to be as good as possible. I think people are still sleeping on Gears 5. I really do. I think that game's going to surprise people. Hopefully, it's great. But at the end of the day, it's just like when Sony are starting up that new team that they're working on now, and they've kind of doubled some of their studios up, which is great. I'm not going to sit there and question it because I haven't seen anything from it. So that's kind of how I tackled the Sony stuff, and that's kind of how I'm going to go with the Microsoft.
All right. Last, like I said, we're getting the hell up out of here. Somebody said my mic was low. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But that link right there is left again for those who don't know. It's a way for you to partake in the show, and it won't cost you a dime. You sign up. Literally, they just play an ad on the stream itself, and you just have to, once you register, they're going to send you a link to confirm your that's how you confirm your email address, and you can send. I think you can send one message every 15 minutes. But again, it helps the show with ads and with free promotions. So you may guys want a gaming laptop, PC, whatever the case may be. It's the way to, like I say, a poor man's quote unquote super chat, and you can.
It's that simple, man. You just watch the show. You got a little bit of entertainment. That's at least maybe drop a message.
Yeah, it's free. It won't cost you a goddamn dime. Literally, it won't cost you a dime. But again, shout out to my man, Dealer, for swinging by. I haven't spoken to you on air in a minute. I ain't gonna lie, brother. You had me like you joined the cult. What's my man name? What's the guy name? The cult with the Nazi spots in the middle of his forehead. They killed all the celebrities.
Join the what?
Manson. What's the goddamn name? Manson. What's the goddamn man? What's the guy that had the cult that had to kill all the celebrities in Hollywood?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
That's what you're talking about the exclusives, but they got to be first party only. But shout out to my man Dylan for swinging by. We gave an interesting take on the ways he sees gaming.
I don't want motherfuckers taking that shit out of context. I notice that's all some of these motherfuckers do. First party is important. I don't care if I can play it on my PC. I just want that badass fucking game.
And,
all right.
Yeah, but okay. So last question. So it's Charles Manson. That's his goddamn name, Charles Manson. So do you have any predictions leading into E3? Anything that you're looking for? Oh, I'll play this. Let me reword it. Reword that here. There's anything that you may want to see that you may not get? You may be a little disappointed in.
Well, there's some rumors about Fable, and we know Fable's a thing, right? Yeah. It's a 50-50 shot of being there. MechAssault. I'd like to see a reiteration of MechAssault. Okay. I really would. That's one of the things that kind of lowered me to the Xbox in the first place. Right. Piranha Studios has met with Microsoft 6 times for a MechWarrior port and things they cannot talk about, quote unquote. So maybe they'll reboot that franchise, but I would like to see MechAssault. At the end of the day, it's more games, and if they're good, right? So I'd like to see some announcements regarding that. Most importantly, with some of these new studios. Since they've got more members now, they got, some of these studios don't even have the same leaders, right? Your game suck, new leader. Like, that's the thing. A studio is a studio, and most all studios have made a bad game at one point, most of them. It doesn't really define them forever. So you can always get a new creative director, right? And he's going to lead that team into a more successful environment. Hopefully Microsoft do that with the guys with that did We Happy Few and stuff. Some people liked it. I don't think it's really for me. But yeah, I just want some new IP. That's what I want. I don't think either side has done a great job at creating new IP this whole generation. So I think new IP are important. I know that's one of the main objectives of the initiative, but we're not going to hear from them for like 3 fucking years at least, probably. So, it's one of those things where they got a lot of studios in the motions now. So we'll see what happens. I know we're going to hear about the hardware. I think we're going to hear about the hardware for sure. They're going to try to suck the wind out of Sony's sales with the PS5, right? Kind of like they did with the X and the Pro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's one thing I will say this. And Sony has an ingenious way of just bringing something right before Microsoft goes. I think Sony might
they might drop that Last of Us 2 release date and fuck.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge game for them. You know what I mean? They just always get a way of doing that. So you think we're gonna see stuff from Microsoft as far as the hardware? You think
I think that, and I think Phil already said they've got new games from their new studios, some of their new studios ready to show. So, we'll see some of that. Hopefully it's good, high quality stuff, but there's a lot of cool third party stuff as well. Like the new Batman game is supposed to come out this year.
I've been hearing Batman game. I've been hearing Injustice. I've been hearing that.
No, this is the other Superman. This is Warner Brothers Montreal. They released Arkham Origins, but now they have a new creative director, Patrick Redding, who worked at Ubisoft for a long time, and he led up Splinter Cell Blacklist. He is the new creative director of Warner Brothers Montreal. They are making a Batman game right now, and then Rocksteady's in the background, supposedly making a Suicide Squad game, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I've been here. Like I said, I didn't heard Suicide Squad. I didn't heard Watchmen. I didn't heard new Superman. A Superman game from Rocksteady. I've been hearing, whatever. I know also too though. Before we get the hell up out of here, Square Enix is taking Sony's slot this year at E3, so you will most likely see that Avengers game. You know what I mean? That Crystal Dynamics.
That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. If we do see it, they did just announce some job listings. Yeah. They're hiring people to kind of make the story more cinematic and emotional or whatever. But apparently that's the same team that made Rise of the Tomb Raider, released in 2015. Still like seeing shit from them. So that game better be bad.
When they take a long time, that's just them and what they do. But I'm hoping that this Avengers game be up there to the level of Superman or Batman. You know what I mean? Not some something dope. You know what I mean? But they've been making it for a while. But anyway, like I said, thank you, Swinging Bob. They got a hook up again at the E3 to get your overall thoughts. Shout out to everybody that swung out, that rocked out live. Shout out to my brother Stuart Stokes and Floyd Mayweather. All you guys, and again, for those you guys that watched the show that left a message, shout out to Neff. He left a message on the free app. He said, "Great show." Again, it doesn't cost you a dime. You can just send a message, just like a super chat. I know people
it's free, people.
People get leery the word free, but literally it's free.
I mean, it's literally free. Do it for free. Make someone you support some money.
Yeah, so it costs you nothing, man. But anyway, thank you, Swinging by Dilla, man. We out here.
No problem, brother.